Hello, and welcome to the Starting Soldiers Plus tutorial. I am Clock Foolish, the mod creator, and I'm going to walk you through how to use this mod. The purpose of this mod, of course, is to start a campaign of XCOM 2 with a specific number and type and soldiers in the starting barracks, and we'll get into all that in a second. But first, let us figure out how to actually control for that. So if you right-click the mod here in the Advanced Mod Launcher, show an Explorer, then you open Config, and then you open this XCOM starting soldiers.ini file. This is just open in Notepad in my case. I don't have any fancy applications. So, starting with this file, we have a lot of commented outlines up here that are just like descriptive information. It talks about the different parameters that are going to be in these pieces of information lower down. We have another commented out section that just shows you how to make 4 default squaddies, and another section that I used for data and testing and stuff. Now, when we get to the first uncommented outlines, these 13 lines here, these dot character info, all that stuff, these are soldiers, each one. And in this case, they are 13 identical lines, so each one will give you a randomly generated rookie of the default soldier type. So let's go through and look at all these different parameters that are here. So there is soldier rank, soldier class, soldier name, and soldier template. So starting with the easiest first, soldier rank is in standard unmodded War of the Chosen, a number between 0 and 7 that corresponds rookie to colonel. So 0 will be rookie, 1 will be squaddie, counting all the way up to colonel. In things like Long War of the Chosen, you might go to 8 for that to be the brigadier equivalent rank, or as it's known in Long War of the Chosen, Master Sergeant. Next, we have soldier class. This will be the class of whatever soldier you're using, or whatever class you want the soldier to be when placed in your barracks. Here, a couple examples up here show the base soldier classes: Specialist, Grenadier, Sharpshooter, Ranger. They're all pretty simple. Modded classes may not have such a straightforward name, and if you're going through something like Long War of the Chosen or RPGO or a different class mod like that, do check the XCOM class data.ini file to get the specific name that the classes use, that XCOM uses essentially to recognize the classes. Next, you have soldier name. This will be the name as it appears for a given soldier in your character pool. So, for example, here, I'm going to write Fizawardi. This is a character in my character pool, and I will be using her to demonstrate some things. And then finally, we have soldier template. Now, currently it is set to soldier. This is the default template for all human XCOM soldiers, not like a faction soldier or a spark. This is just the base. For faction soldiers and sparks, you can see the different template names in these lines. For all of them, it's just their class followed by soldier, so Reaper soldier, Spark soldier, etc. But for other modded templates, it might be different. And in a moment, we're going to get into a couple examples from Playable Aliens for War of the Chosen and Allies Unknown that have a bit of a different naming scheme. So from here, we have our soldiers. These first 4 are cordoned off because they are going to be the 4 soldiers we see appearing on Gatecrasher, where the other 9 are just going to fill up the rest of the barracks. Currently, I have it set to have 13 rookies, one of which is a certain name. So we're going to change that in order just to show how the mod works. So to display the basic functionality of the Starting Soldiers mod, like you might have seen from John previously, I am going to set Fizawardi to be a Ranger of rank 3. Why not? Sorry, rank 2. Next, I'm going to have a faction soldier, so I'm going to switch this to Templar soldier, soldier class Templar, soldier rank at least 1. because soldier rank 0 for a Templar does not make any sense, because they're a faction soldier, faction soldiers can't be rookies, that kind of thing. I'm going to have a random soldier of rank 3, and I'm going to have one random rookie. So all these soldiers will be visible on Gatecrasher. So I'm going to pop into the game and see what that looks like. All right, so we are back. And as you can see, we have 4 soldiers right off the bat. We can see the Templar, of course. Also here is Fizzowardi, the character from my character pool. And sure enough, she is a corporal level ranger, and that was rank 2 ranger, as we put in the config file. We have a random soldier of rank 3, so a random soldier with a random class that is 3rd rank, so of course a sergeant, and in this case we also rolled ranger. And finally, we have a normal rookie. So everything looks to have worked properly here to get exactly the starting squad that we wanted. So these are the basics. I'm going to cut back to the mod loader screen and talk about how to use some advanced character templates. All right, so we are back on the AML page. Now, to start using the starting soldiers mod with different character templates, we're first going to have to find the names of those character templates in a mod. Now, how would you do that? Well, as example, I am going to find the playable XCOM 2 Aliens for War of the Chosen. I'm going to open it in the Explorer as well. Instead of opening config, this time we're going to go into source. We're going to go into the playable aliens file. We're going to go into classes, and instead of looking at this list, we're just going to search for x2 character. And here we go. We have x2 character underscore playable aliens. This has a bunch of the different created templates. Now, unfortunately, you can't always trust the names here at the add template. So we're going to have to go in and check these lines. So this line here is the creation of the character template that has like its whole thing, and this section in quotes is the name that the game recognizes for the template. So in the case of this mod, every alien is denoted as PA underscore their name, except for one specific exception. But I'm not talking about this mod, I'm talking about my mod, so I'm going to move forward with that assumption. So we found that, that's good. So we can close this, we can close that, and we can hop back into the starting soldiers plus. All right, show an explorer once again. Oh, actually, I already have it open. Let's just do that. All right, now we're in here. So there's some changes now. So in testing playable aliens for Long War of the Chosen, I need to, of course, be in Long War of the Chosen. So instead of the first 4 soldiers being on Gatecrasher, it should be the first 8, as that is the default settings in Long War of the Chosen. I'm going to clear all these out. All right, so now we're back to having 8 normal soldier rookies. So in order to test some things, I'm going to leave 3 of these soldiers as rookies. I am going to make 2 of them a random class and Lance Corporal. So Lance Corporal for Long War of the Chosen is rank 2. It is the same rank as Corporal in the base game. So we're going to spawn in 2 random soldiers of the rank Lance Corporal, and we want 3 different examples of using the new template system. So in this case, PA Faceless will correspond to spawning a playable aliens Faceless. PA Berserker will correspond, of course, to Berserker. That's not, there we go, Berserker, okay. And then finally, we have PA Sectoid, which of course will be the playable alien Sectoid. Now, for all of these, it is good practice to also specify the class. The way these templates work is that these templates have a class that corresponds to the template. So essentially, if you tell the game, and by the game I mean this mod, to create, say, a soldier that's PA Faceless, it will by default assign them to the correct class. However, in other cases that is not true. So here I'm just going to use the naming scheme in Playable Aliens for Long War the Chosen and just do the name of the alien class. You can find this, as I mentioned previously, in the XCOM class data.ini file. Okay, here we go. And we are going to set all these to rank 1 because, again, non-soldier templates don't really have a rank 0, so it doesn't really make sense. All right, so here we should have 3 rookies, 2 lance corporals of randomly assigned classes, and a faceless, berserker, and sectoid that all have their correct class information for Playable Aliens for Long War the Chosen. So let's see what that looks like. All right, so we've loaded into Gatecrasher, and let's check our results. So we had 3 rookies, so we have 1 rookie, 2, 3, 2 lance corporals of random classes. In this case, we have a gunner and a technical, both lance corporals, so that's doing well. And we are supposed to have a faceless, a berserker, and a sectoid. And of course, all 3 of these soldiers appear to have all the correct abilities for Playable Aliens for Long War the Chosen. So the class and template appears to have worked correctly. So now let's see what they look like in the barracks. Sure, we can load them into Gatecrasher, but will they actually work properly in the barracks afterwards? All right, and here we go. We are in the barracks after Gatecrasher, and you can see the Lance Corporals, of course, are asking for promotion. In this case, the rookies haven't been promoted, but that was in part due to some technical shenanigans on my part. In a normal campaign, of course, after completing Gatecrasher, any rookies on the mission are going to promote. And you can also see the Faceless, Berserker, and Sectoid properly added to the barracks. Everything looks to be working fine. All the skill trees are correct, all that sort of stuff. One note as well, important with the mod, is as you can see from, well, as you may be able to see from the values, if you're not familiar with the mod, then typically to stop the aliens from hacking, they are given a hacking score of -25. However, with Not Created Equally, sometimes that number swings because Long War the Chosen is assigning their stats at random. So a notable thing we can conclude from this mod as well is that it works properly with Long War the Chosen's random stat assignment. And this is also true for the point-based Not Created Equally that exists for War of the Chosen. Both have been tested with this mod and both have been found to be compatible. So now that we've shown how to do a template that has its own class, let's do an example of a soldier template that does not have its own attached class. All right, back to the alternative mod launcher we are. Let's look for Allies Unknown. So Allies Unknown, I'm using 2 species for this example. We have the Turians and the Krogans, both of these mods by Reality Machina. So we'll follow a very similar process that we did for Playable Aliens for Long War the Chosen. Open the file, source, click through X2 character Krogan, and sure enough, we can see here on this line here that we have character template, set character template, and there is the name. So we can see that is the name of the soldier template. In this case, it does match with the standard convention of having the soldier type followed by soldier. So that's fortunate for us. And the same information can be found with the Turians, again, following the same process all the way into here. And sure enough, being made by the same person, there's the same rough layout and the same naming convention, Turian soldier. So simple enough. So let us change our INI file to account for the fact that we are using new mods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all 5 of these lines and then just make a copy of these 5 lines and place them right there. Perfect. Okay, great. Let's split that out correctly. Once again, we'll see these 4 on Gatecrasher. The line spacing I'm making between these items does not have any effect on gameplay. It's just for organizational purposes. So to make sure we can spawn these in correctly, I'm going to throw in Krogan Soldier, another Krogan Soldier, and then 2 Turian soldiers as well. And to make sure that these soldiers work correctly with random class assignment, I'm going to set the Krogan soldiers at rank 2 and the Turian soldiers at rank 1. I am not going to specify a class or name for these, though again, if you've previously played these mods and you have these characters in your pool, excuse me, there should be no reason why they do not work with my mod as it stands. So let's see what happens on Gatecrasher once again. All right, we are back on Gatecrasher, and sure enough, we have 2 Krogan soldiers that are of corporal rank, a ranger and a gunner. We also have 2 Turian soldiers that are at squatty rank, again, randomly assigned to be a sharpshooter and a specialist. Typically, if you randomly assign 4 soldiers with this mod, it will use the same system the game does for promotions, and so it will give you 1 each of the starting classes. And if you did more soldiers, they would be roughly evenly distributed unless you specified the classes. So with these soldier templates, they function exactly like normal soldiers in that they have a template, but there's no specific class associated with that template. So in this case, we can see that the mod is compatible with classes that are attached to specific templates and compatible with templates that are not assigned to specific classes. So that'll be the end of my tutorial. Thank you very much for sticking through with me as I've explained how these classes work. Do let me know if you run into any problems using this mod, particularly with different class type mods or any like glitches or anything like that that come up. I'll be sure to address those when possible. And I have a discussion post on the mod page that talks about some of the character templates that are used for certain mods, but if you want me to expand that library with a certain mod that I'm just unfamiliar with or haven't gone through, please let me know. I'll do that. And yeah, good luck hunting those aliens.